Welcome to Putty Paint. Today we're going to be doing a tool review of this workbench. Alright, so our friends at Enjoywood sent us this workbench to give us our honest opinion of what we think their product is good. I mean, is it good? Is it bad? Does it have flaws? You know, what we think about it. So we're going to give you our input as to whether or not we think this is a purchasable item. I right out of the box, I will say it is fairly stable for a workbench for the price point. I think it has its unique characteristics, such as the plug and USB setup here with a surge protector. I think that's pretty cool. Although I will say that this is a bit funky. I mean, it has these little pull-out brackets on both sides that are, in my opinion, will be something that on a job site will break in a matter of minutes. But you could have it as flat, or you can pop it up and you're good to go on your power strip. Now you could plug in your extension cord and plug in your, let's say for example, a miter saw and charge your phone. Now right out of the gate, this is, by what I'm looking at here, an expandable workbench. You can tie in more than one workbench together, and you do that by popping out these little connectors right here. So you interlock them, so you can set it off and interlock another workbench. That right there is a pretty cool little design. So you can go 3 or 4 outward and have your miter saw, and you will have the support you need to do your work. Now, as far as the legs and the weight, it does say that it is a max capacity of 1,000 pounds. Working load 500 pounds. Now the 500 pounds, okay. I mean, you're going to throw a miter saw in here and cut some 2x6, 2x4s. Totally doable. It's totally doable. It's a great solid bench for just popping your miter saw on here and doing your work. But 1,000 pounds, lab tested, I get it. That's pushing shit, in my opinion. That is pushing it way beyond what I think it's capable of doing. I mean, can you imagine popping 10 bags of concrete on here and it standing still? What are you going to put that weighs 1,000 pounds? I don't see that, really being an issue. They did include a clamping system here. Now, after goofing around with this, okay, so they come with these, like similar to like the quick grips and what have you from Irwin. They're not the best. They do say that they are included, and a lot of workbenches don't include these. I'm going to say right out of the gate that this should be on the flip side, because you're squeezing in. This right here is kind of goofy that it's on the back side. Their interlocking system, that right there is pretty much a joke. I mean, you can't really, fart, dude. How in the hell do we even access that? I mean, there you go. Okay, so that's ridiculous. On its own right, that is ridiculous. Yeah, it's accessible. I didn't feel it from the bottom. So yeah, you can get it from the bottom if you needed to. But I just genuinely think this right here is very cheaply made. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous in my opinion. Now, they did tell me that this issue has been addressed in the new models. I'll leave that up to you to decide. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. Now, what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to lock into the slots on your quick grips, right? And then you put it in and you latch it down, and then you are able to clamp down. Now, here's the deal, okay? You turn it over, okay? You unlock it. Then you got to take your clamp here, okay, and unscrew one side of it. Now, is it like an Irwin where it's spring-loaded? No, it just has a nut that's just sitting there. So you take it off. Try not to lose the nut, okay? And then you take your clamp, slide it out, and use it on the other side. And the reason why you have to do this is because the holes don't line up to where you can flip it around the other way and make it work. So you have to do it that way. And then it has a ginormous hole to go into. So it jiggles around and wiggles around. And as you can see, under clamping pressure, it's already been damaged. So I put it on here, and I got a piece of wood. See, look at the damn thing, it doesn't even go all the way in. I put it on a piece of wood. Now we'll do that real quick. All right, so now under a piece of wood, you come down on a straight 90. Let's say, for example, like you want to screw in your box edges on a drawer, for example. Okay, first of all, this is what you get. It's just floppy Joe, right? So let's get it as centered as possible to not allow it to walk away. Okay, so here I am, I'm pushing down. And as you clamp it down, it pulls away from where, I mean, what do you expect it to do here? Kind of chintz it in a little bit, maybe? I mean, even if you cheat it in a lot, now look at the foot's falling out. The foot's walking itself out. So, and then you can see the stress points on the actual plastic itself. Now, what they're telling me is that this is an additional feature. Now, none of these workbenches, that I guess when you get them on Amazon, do they come with a clamping setup like this, okay? I understand that, okay? The dog legs are pretty sweet, okay? They do include dog legs. So like if you're going to be using your planer for your hand planes and what have you, or chisels and whatnot, this is great, okay? I can get behind that. These are a damn joke. These are a joke right here. Now, let's go ahead and get a hold of an actual Irwin clamp and see how we can utilize these holes in this workbench for our advantage. If whether or not, let's say for example, you have these clamps at home and you buy the workbench just as a standalone workbench to have a good workbench. Like I said, the workbench itself isn't a bad build. It really isn't. Okay, but let me get the Irwins and we'll go from there. So on the Irwin quick clamps, it has a quick press, which is not really quick, if I'm being honest, but it just comes right off, okay? So you can just drop that into your bench, which is pretty sweet, and then you can come up with your clamp on the bottom, put it together, okay? And then let's bring it up to a workpiece, right? And now it will clamp where it's supposed to. So the clamps that they come with are pretty much, in my opinion, garbage. These right here are they're just not good, okay? But the availability of being able to use some real clamps from some Irwin, you know, who are manufacturing clamps for, you know, the last 40 years, those are good. That's a good deal. I have a wood bench in the garage here somewhere where I actually drilled holes through it to put these clamps on it to hold the piece in the middle of the workbench. This comes with them, so it's kind of nice, kind of you know, like I'll be honest, these right here are absolute dog ass. And if you are buying this bench because they come with these, I wouldn't advise it, bud. I wouldn't advise it. I'd steer clear of these things. This is actually really terrible. I mean, god damn, the damn nut fell out of the damn shit. Yeah, so these are flipping garbage in my opinion. Actually, this doesn't even go to this clamp. This goes to this clamp. And then they don't freaking go back in together very well. So yeah, like I said, these are not good in my honest opinion. I think they're just poorly made. They're just really quick little things. Now, are they good for somebody who's just starting out and doesn't have, you know, just $100 and something to throw at a workbench to work on? Yeah, these might work for you. You know, I mean, we all got to start somewhere. But, you know, if you're an avid woodworker, steer clear of these things. There's the garbage. But the bench itself, I'm not complaining too much. I will say this about the plug, though. Why in the world did they put that plug facing straight up? Let's get an extension cord and see why that is an absolutely ridiculous idea. With this plug being in the position that it's in, you come right over the top and you have to plug it in that way, and then you have your cord draping over the side. I personally think that this should have been something that's plugged into the side, maybe a pilot hole where you can stick it through, or even from the bottom. It's something that supports the actual cable itself from falling off. But that right there, that's pretty I don't know. I think that'll end up in the way more than it'll help you. But let's go ahead and throw a miter saw on this thing, kind of gauge it for size, see how it feels when you're chopping and everything. All right, so we threw the miter saw in here and we plugged it in. So we have the extension cord is plugged in, and then we have the miter saw plugged in. I don't know if this has any kind of surge protection on it in any degree. It doesn't really say it in any of the paperwork, but I have to imagine that it's more than 15 amps, which is a standard, 120 outlet. So, I mean, seems to run fine. As far as its rigidity, I mean, it is a bit floppy, but I mean, dude, you go and throw a couple sawhorses and a couple 2x4s on there, it's just as floppy. And it does take up less space. Because, I mean, as you can see, like, dude, the thickness of this thing is pretty immense. It does have a tape measure on here for reference. Don't know what the hell you would actually use that for. It starts all the way on the side where the measuring tape is at, and your dog legs start about a third of the way in. So, I don't know. All in all, I mean, if I just wanted a workbench, yeah, I probably would consider buying this if I wanted just a workbench. If I was going for something, friggin' solid and I can utilize it in every aspect of what I'm trying to do, yeah, probably not, if I'm being honest, dude. So this is like a middle of the ground. I will include the link in the description, and there's also a code for 30% off. But, I mean, that's entirely up to you guys. Feel free to give it a try. Like I said, it is compact. I will say that. I mean, dude, it's less than 3 feet wide. I mean, what does that go up to? So that's 28. The tape measure starts here, and here it's 28 inches. So it's like 34 inches across, 32. I mean, it's pretty compact, right? So, I mean, you really can't get too bad about that. 2 feet wide. So when you're folding it up and you're closing up the job site, right? The one thing I did not particularly care for was its ability to close up. This is a little chintzy to me, okay? You fold these forward, okay? And you got to line them up just right every time. And then, look at that. You can't have the damn dog leg in there. But you have it in there, and it has this little plastic. This is what releases it right here. And it's supposed to bite into these little plastic ridges. That damn thing, well, that time it did. But 90% of the time, they weren't biting in. So when you would go and walk around, they would be loose. But that time they did. I don't know. Maybe I knocked it loose. I don't know. But, I mean, dude, then it has a handle on this side here just to carry it, I mean, with you in the truck. I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide. If you guys think it's worth it after this review, I'll leave it up to you. It is solid. I'm not going to lie. This plastic, that right there is damn near 3 inches thick. All right, so for your everyday DIYer, this might be worth it for you guys. But you contractors and you professionals out there, I would steer clear of this thing. This is not for you. Heavy duty use, repeated use, yeah, definitely not. But your everyday DIYer, you know what? You can probably get behind this thing, especially if you get like 2 or 3 and you expand on it and interlocked it. I mean, it's not bad. You know what I mean? So there is a code in the description along with the link. So copy the link, copy the code, hit the link, and it'll take you to Amazon, and you guys make your purchase, and you'll get 30% off. So anyway, there's another one in the books for you guys, huh? Portable workbench. We'll catch you on the next one, huh? Until next time, we'll see you.